for your opening statement, and then we will take questions from the audience.
Thank you, Satvik. I appreciate it. Our players would say you got some real drip to your game there with your attire. Let me begin by thanking Jim Delaney for his incredible work here with our league in particular, and obviously our men's basketball programs. I think we're all very appreciative and really excited about the next step and next phase with Kevin here as we move forward in our league. And I think our league obviously had a tremendous year collectively last year with a number of NCAA tournament teams as well as the number of teams that advanced to the second and to the Sweet 16, and obviously Michigan State's run. So congratulations to all those teams. Listen, I wish I had a lot of answers for you today. I'm not sure that I do. This is a little earlier than we typically have this time. Like all of our coaches, I'm sure, we're anxiously anticipating consistent work with our guys on a regular basis so that we can figure out a little bit more what our team looks like and continue to grow and develop with our team. And that's really our focus right now, is we're focused more on the bricks than the wall right now. And I think as much as we can, that's going to remain our focus here as we move forward. But like all the coaches, we're excited and anxious for the season to continue to get moving in the second and third week of practice.
Thank you, Coach. We will open the floor for questions.
Hey, Coach. Kyle Babcock, Sports Report Media. I was in Nebraska this past week at Ohio State, Nebraska in the football game, and we're here at basketball, but Ohio State's such a big-time university for basketball, football, all athletics. What's it like for you to have this energy coming in every year from the football team, coming in to get you guys started off great, on the basketball season?
Yeah, listen, as I've said to a lot of our local media, I think it's a tremendous asset to have a program that, like our football program and so many of our other programs that compete at the highest level and compete for a national championship. Like you, I watched that game. It was a tremendous environment in Lincoln, as you'd expect for really all the basketball games and the football. Tremendous environment. I'm so happy for Ryan and his staff and how they're playing. And obviously, I'm sure he's focused on the next game, which is Michigan State on Saturday.
All the way to your right.
Hey, Chris, Bill Landis from The Athletic. What do your guys say about your drip?
Thank you. I just ran into them, and they were pleased. They were pleased. I didn't get the drip comment like I did after one of our games last year, so maybe I need to step up my game.
You had mentioned maybe a week or two ago that EJ and Justin and Musa were all dealing with some injuries, and it sounded like you expected at least Justin and EJ back at some point. Is there any update on Musa and whether or not you'll have him back for camp or for the start of the season?
So we have three guys out right now, Justin, Orange, that they're not in contact, Bill, not in full contact. Justin and EJ have had limited work in non-contact drills. Musa Jallow is out and will remain out probably for certainly the next week or two. So obviously we want to get those guys back as quickly as we can. I believe that EJ and Justin will begin to go full practice here in the next few days, as long as their test results come back positive.
On your left, Coach.
Tom Bruce, SportsIllustrated.com. I know this league is always good, but can you talk a little bit about the depth of this league, and especially with the 20-game schedule, what that grind is like from beginning to end?
It's a great question. We experienced it last year, and I think it is. Last year was the youngest team I've ever coached, and this year is going to be even younger, with over half of our roster being freshmen and sophomores. So to go through that grind with a young group, I think it taught me a lot of lessons. And we got beat up, quite honestly. We really got beat up. I have so much respect for the quality. It's clearly, in my mind, the deepest league in the country. I think it's arguable. There could be other leagues that you would consider along those lines. But the depth of it is what makes it, I think, special. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. I think it's going to be as deep or deeper than it was last year.
On your right, Coach.
Jeremy Warner, 24/7 Sports. Obviously, you got a talented player out of this state, Chris, and E.J. Liddell. When he is healthy, what does he bring to your program? What does he bring to the Big Ten?
You know, he's one of those really interesting, and we've got him, Penn State as an incredible one. That's a mismatch issue at the forward position. That's a tremendous player on both ends, and Lamar. I think for EJ, he's one of those guys that is just a difficult matchup when he's really playing well, and he's going to go through some ups and downs and bumps and bruises. But what we loved about him was his ability to obviously impact the game on both ends, but really he's got a unique skill set at that size. And he's one of those guys that, you coach guys that they're kind of wired to score. They can roll out of bed a little bit and score, and that's what EJ can do. He's got to get healthy, got to get in better shape, but we're excited about his year.
On your left here.
Adam Jardy with the Columbus Dispatch. Pat Chambers was up here talking about Lamar Stevens and said he's challenged him to have like a Mamba mentality every drill, every practice, every game. Have you challenged Caleb in any way like that? And what have you seen from him in like the early going here of practice?
Has Lamar not had that in the past? Because he's been pretty dang good without that. I think that is the next step for Caleb. Obviously took a significant jump at him from his freshman to sophomore year, and he deserves a lot of credit for that, as did his brother from his sophomore to junior season. I think the next step is more consistency and both in practice, obviously it begins there, and then his play, and beginning to adjust as to how teams are playing him. His biggest issue, even as good a year as he had last year, was he has to play smarter in terms of his fouls. We've got to help him with that as a coaching staff. He's got to take the next step there, and we're anxious to see if he will.
Jeff Rapp, JohnSpeaks.com. Good morning,
Jeff.
Coach. As far as the point guard situation goes, do you guys have somebody you look at and say, okay, he's the likely starter, or with CJ and DJ, are you going to let that play out for a little while?
Yeah, we'll let it play out really with all of our positions, to be honest with you, Jeff. I think it's going to be we're in constant evaluation mode. I think that position, it's exciting to us because we have some experience, obviously, in C.J. Walker and in D.J. Carton, a young guy who is really gifted. So we'll play those two together as well. So we don't always look at it as an either-or situation. I think there'll definitely be times where they play together.
Questions for Coach Holtmann? All right, Coach, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.